So talking about all this G League, Summer League.
Yeah.
You got some former Tigers in there pairing up, actually, giving me a little bit of a what if FOMO of Lester and Kendrick teaming up from the Warriors. And I got to say, Lester is next level.
Man.
I mean, is he Jordan Poole 2.0?
Yeah.
You see that all over Twitter. I think did you send that earlier?
Sent it to you.
But he he was great here, but he really is like taken offensively to a next, like another gear.
Can I tell you what concerns me a little bit?
So much more aggressive.
Lester's the perfect example of what playing against other grown men in the G League does to your game. He spent 3 years in college and does not, 1 year in the G League, he looks like a completely different player.
Sure.
I mean, he's so much more aggressive. And I think about this and I laugh because of how bad I want him to succeed, but I want Lester to succeed so bad and be in the NBA, all because of his beef with Grant Williams.
I forgot about that.
And Admiral Schofield.
Both of them. And asking him if the Go-Go's or whatever play that night. And I'm like, God, Lester, if nothing else, you got to get out of the G League and get on the roster just because of that.
I feel like he's going to make that roster.
I do too. I mean, he looks damn good.
Like, it's crazy to me. This man, I was watching the Memphis, I think it was the Memphis Alabama game from a couple of years ago when they beat them. They were 5-4, beat them in Memphis. And at that point in his career high was 21 points for Memphis. In 2 games in the summer league, he hit 28 and 27.
Yeah.
I mean, it is literally next level stuff.
It's kind of different when your job is to get paid to play basketball. You're like, you don't have to go to class. You don't have to go to study hall. Like, you're just putting up shots literally all day.
Yeah.
And so you can evolve your game so much. And I think now that it's skinny Lester, like, which is different than like his freshman year Lester, he's kind of chubby his freshman year. He's slimmed down,
a little baby fat.
Yeah, he's slimmed down some. He's learning how to use his body and his frame now. He's always kind of a big kid, like no matter what. Even when he was thin Lester, he was still kind of just a big frame.
Yeah,
but I think he's learning how to use his body now.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you saw it. Someone made the comparison between Jordan Poole and Lester Quinones and Draymond. They were like, oh, Lester is going to be Jordan Poole 2.0, something like that. And Draymond was like, hopefully he's got a harder chin, which made me laugh.
Turns out that I got fooled by that. It was a fake Draymond account.
Was it really?
Yes.
Dang, I wanted that to be true.
Bro,
so much.
I was like, what in the hell? When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
Damn.
Got full. Speaking of, well, it's not a fake account, but have y'all seen Ballsack Sports?
What'd they say?
They tweeted out a fake stat line for Amani that said he scored like 27 when 8 of 12 from the field, 6 of 7 from 3, which is all totally not right.
Oh, that's been posted all up in our Discord. Is that not true?
No, Amani reposted it thinking that was his stat line, and Ballsack Sports made it up, and he reposted it and everybody's like, "How the hell do you not like?
How do you not know that you went 7 of 8 from 3?
How do you think you played that well?"
Oh no.
Like, he got totally duped by Ballsack Sports.
That is the preeminent Imani Bates story if I've ever heard.
So it was great.
He is currently trending on Twitter.
Imani. It's probably because of that. It happened today. And then speaking of Draymond, he doesn't tweet very much, but he has responded to T. Lasley 20 before on Twitter.
That is true. I do recall that.
It was after he elbowed Mike in the face. And I tweeted at him and said, "You are and tweeted the eggplant emoji. And he responded an eggplant ? And I was like, that's not what I meant, but yes, that is what you are.
You know what I meant, man. You know what you meant.
And then other summer league news, you got Wiseman and Duren teaming up, and Kenny out here saying that Duren's taking his stuff to the next level. I mean, step back threes in people's eye.
He's a grown man. By the way,
he's been a grown man since it
is absurd.
Came out of the womb.
Yeah, it is absurd how large and in charge he is.
I mean, you had guys talking about his physicality and size his first year in the league. Like, he's a
And he came out early, right?
yeah. I mean, he's a specimen.
All right. So for Cal's going to
Wasn't he
complain
like
about
he was like
27-year-old
when he got here, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Then he turned 18 in the middle of the basketball season.
Yeah, and Cal's complaining about 27-year-old man. Think about the high school kids that had to compare against Jalen Duren. Are you joking?
Talk about a safety issue. No kidding.
I've had the chance to cover James Wiseman, Musa Cisse, Malcolm Dandridge. Who else? Who are the other big men that have been here? DeAndre.
Yeah.
All those guys. And Jalen Duren was the first guy that I ever was like physically intimidated by.
Oh, I mean, still is probably. I hadn't seen him a little bit, but like when you talk about somebody being like chiseled
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a sculpture for real.
Create a character.
Yeah. Unreal. It's not fair.
Yeah. I think he's got a decent little future in the NBA.
Probably so.
Someone who may not have a decent future in the NBA is James Wiseman, apparently. He's kind of on the struggle bus.
Is he?
Yeah. Obviously, it didn't work out at Golden State. I don't think it was ever going to work out. We talked about this before we were recording. It was never a great pairing. Gets moved to Detroit, and there's already like 6 big men on the roster in Detroit in the first place. But trying to catch lightning in a bottle, I get it. Right? That's obviously a lottery pick that's just sitting out there for you to take. You definitely take the swing on him. I kind of wanted Memphis to go after him because I think the pairing between he and JJJ, like that being JJJ's backup would have been nice. But to each their own. He's just and Kenny, it's to your point. Like, when's the last time he's played like serious basketball?
2018-19.
Yeah, like he played a couple of games here, then was just banged up at Golden State and just never really had an opportunity. I think he played like 15 games that one year.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be tough to go through a drought like that. You hadn't played a real season, and that's, I mean, high school, your senior year is not a real season of basketball compared to the NBA lifestyle, but.
Or college, honestly.
Right. I mean, I'm sure it's tough.
I think the story is still out on James Wiseman. I think there are a few things that he has that are just elite level skills. One of them is his speed in the open court. Like, that guy can run. Like, he's so good at that. Mm-hmm. But it's just finding out how his game translates, right? Like,
sure.
That's where he is. And the fact that it's 2023 and he's still having to play in the summer league is just not great. Like, yeah. But he just needs to play ball, and he needs to be in a situation where he can just play and learn himself. And I think Detroit and Monty Williams are a perfect place for him to do that.
Yeah. I'm worried that it's going to take that next contract for him to kind of figure it out, because right now the expectations are you were a top 5 pick and that's how you should produce. Well, he's not obviously going to be extended on that because that's an overpay for who he is as a player so far. And I think that next contract is really going to be kind of like maybe not a humbling experience, but an eye-opening.
It's a make or break.
Yeah, it's going to be eye-opening in the sense that it's make or break. Like, you greatly need this. Like, and I'm sure the Lakers could take him on, and he's a cheap contract for them kind of situation. Like, that's probably how it's going to work out, now that I say it that way. But it's not looking great for him right now, and that's very surprising considering what we saw from him in 3 games of what could have been.
Well, and you look at Detroit's lineup. They just signed Isaiah Stewart to a 4-year, $60 million, and
they got 16 bigs,
and they got Jalen Duren, and it's like they got that kid from Duke, Marvin Bagley, still playing. I mean, like they got a stacked big man roster, but it's like so unless James can really find his foothold fast, it looks like it might be it's going to be a tough scenario for him.
No, definitely. And that's what I was saying, that next roster is going to be a big thing for him just due to the fact, or that next contract, because he's not going to have those same expectations. It's going to be, hey, we're grabbing a kind of a raw product here. And just giving him a shot. And I think he gets to focus on just being his best self as opposed to trying to live up to the hype of being this, what was he, second overall, third overall? Oh, I'm going to go on blank on that. Whatever he was.
He was second, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Second overall pick. Like, you know, as of right now, that's what he's being compared to. It's like, we need you to be the second overall pick, not we just need you to be a serviceable 10-year vet in the NBA.
Yeah.
So,
Well, here's to hoping that James figures it out and has a good, long career.
Y'all had a chance to see Kendrick play much?
I have not. How's he doing?
Yeah, man, he's the baller. Like, you know, he's just a ball player. Like,
Yeah.
he's that guy that when he gets on the floor, good things happen. And it's been interesting to kind of see him without. You could tell last year his ankles just bothered him the entire year.
Sure.
And those issues seem to have cleared up. And so there's a level of like kind of bounce and pop to his game right now that is different than what we saw at Memphis. Yeah. But man, there's just certain things you can't control, and one of them is your genetics. And I don't know, man. I could see him getting a two-way, but I could also see him not, you know. But he's when he's in there, good things happen.
He's a hooper.
He's at Golden State, right?
Yeah, he and Lester are playing together.
That's right. Because I remember seeing that, and I was kind of worried I was worried about him going there because they've also taken AirPods, Brandon Podrinsky or whatever the guy's name from Santa Clara. He's kind of like a combo guard. And I feel like in that situation, that's someone who Golden State drafted that could potentially take the ball out of Kendrick's hand. Someone that's going to get a little bit more focused than Kendrick would be, as opposed to Kendrick going to a place without another, like, you know, without competition at point guard, essentially. To Kenny's point, he may be able to pull away a two-way deal, right? I mean, we've seen who's the kid from White Station that went to Florida?
Chiozza.
Yeah, Chiozza. Chiozza has made an NBA career now for, I mean, a handful of years. And, like, what separates them? I mean, they're relatively the same size, height-wise. Chiozza may be a little heavier, maybe. I mean, that guy's been on NBA rosters for a while. You're telling me Kendrick can't be Chiozza? I mean,
yeah, it was weird. I know he mentioned that he had the choice between Memphis and Golden State to play summer league with. It was weird to me that he went to Golden State because they also brought in Yuri Collins for their summer league. They had the Pods kid. They have, you know, obviously Lester's going to be kind of a ball dominant guard when he's out there. It just seemed a little bit strange that he chose to go to Golden State, because I think if he were to come to Memphis, I think it would have been a much different type of situation for him, where he would have gotten a lot of opportunity to shine. But again, man, the kid's just a baller. Like, there's certain people that when they get out there, it's like just good things happen when they get out there. But man, it's just, he looks like just infinite, like just exponentially smaller than everybody, and it's just,
he looks like an infant. Kenny was gonna say, "Sheesh, kid."
I didn't say that. I said infinitely.
I heard infant.
I heard infant.
Kendrick, I did not say infant. I promise you.